guys, welcome to Fat Quarter Shop FlossTube. We are in May 2023 and I'm Kimberly Jolly, and today is our 200th FlossTube, so that is so exciting. Thank you so much for watching. So it's been about 4 years, so that's super exciting. We're going to keep doing these FlossTubes and hope you love it. But for the 200th episode, we decided to give away a free Vintage Housewife Floss Keeper with orders over $35. The offer ends May 14th, 2023, which is this Sunday. So if you order over $35 and you put in the coupon code that's on the screen, Happy200, this will go in your card automatically free, and it's going to be while supplies last. So if we run out before then we'll run out, but hopefully we don't run out. So this is our little gift to you guys. So yes, 200 episodes. Can you believe that? That's crazy. But today I have a lot of new stuff. I have a lot of new patterns. I have some new Lori Holt to show you. I have 15 items we picked up from the framer. I've got some items Priscilla finished, and I've got May-nia progress. So I have a ton of stuff. So hopefully it's not too long, but I'm just gonna go as long as all the stuff I have. It's gonna be really exciting today because we're gonna have something that all of you will like. We're featuring lots of different designers today, so there'll be something that you like. And just don't forget to put that coupon code in for the free Floss Keeper by Lori Holt. So our very first item is called Summertime. This is a cross stitch pattern by It's So Emma. We invite you to bring some summer into your home decor. So we have this pattern. It is available as a paper or a PDF. We have DMC thread packs, and it includes a free set of Stitchy Floss Bitties so that you can try those out. And the sample was stitched by Denise on this brand new color. It's called Kimberly's Mint 14 Count Aida by Fabric Flare. And it's going to be really interesting for you to see, because when you see it here without stitching, it's going to look one way. And when you see it stitched, it kind of, with these colors, it kind of turns a little bit different color. It's really big. I'm going to kind of put it diagonally. So it is ginormous, but it is so cute. And later in the show, I'm going to show you the first in the series, which is called Be Mine. The second in the series, I'm currently working on May-nia, but somehow I have lost it. So I'll probably find it this weekend, but I'm framing mine differently than Denise is, and so it'll be really interesting for you to see that at the end. We'll compare the two. So the stitch count is 116 by 320. And if you stitch on this 14 count, it comes out to 8 3/8 by 22 3/8. And it's just very interesting how much lighter it looks once you stitch on it. And we just did DMC. This is going to be a 6-part series. And Be Mine was first. Welcome is number 2. This is number 3. And then every 2 months from now, we'll have 3 more. And then next year, we do have something planned with this. I can't tell you what it is, but our next release is in July, and the fabric is a custom color from Fabric Flare. And we worked quite a bit of hours on, getting the greens right. So we hope you love the fabric. Priscilla finished it using the Priscilla's Pretty Plaid black and white bias buffalo check. The SKU on this is 9300-9. And this right here is the Stitching with the Housewives black 1.5 inch buffalo plaid wired ribbon. And this is on a discontinued piece from Michaels. It was a picture frame. So we did not list the SKU on the back of the pattern because it is now discontinued. I'm going to stitch this in July, and then I'm going to frame it, and I'll talk more about how I'm going to frame it when we get into the framing section, because I'm going to kind of show you what I was thinking of what I'm doing. So thank you to the super chat from Nita P77. Happy 200. Love FQS FlossTube. Thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to move to Lori's newest chart, Lori Holt's newest chart. This is really heavy. So the Chicken Club is designed by Lori Holt of Be In My bee in my bonnet, and these cute chickens are ready to fly the coop right into your needlework. This, the designs in this are based off of her chicken salad quilt. And if you are, there's 12 patterns releasing from January to December 2023. And if you're a member of the club, you received this last week. Now, if you haven't been in the club, you can order this next week on Monday. So club members got it first, and if you're not in the club and you want it, you can get it next Monday in either paper or PDF form. This month's chicken is named Hank, and I'm going to show you 4 of them together and some of the accessories. So this is Hank. This is number 4. This is Cornelius, number 1. Florence, number 2. Hattie, number 3. I think I have them in the right order. I don't have them in the right order. Let me try again. Okay, so this one. I got 1 right. 2 is here. 3, 4. Okay, I got them in the right order.
That's 5.
This is 5. Oh, this is number 4. I'm crazy. Sorry. I didn't realize we were at 5. Yay. That's a lot of chickens. Okay, so what's great about these is the frame that we're using is an inexpensive frame from Amazon, and you can, it's called Norfolk Distress Gray 8-inch picture frame, and Ashley can put a link for you, but it's a very inexpensive frame. And then what Lori did is she used a foam core board. She put one of her fabrics on here, and then she put different rickracks on each of them. And then on the back, we're doing her library cards, and it tells you everything about it. Like, it tells you the fabric that we stitched on is barley, 25 count Lugana, and stitched with DMC floss. So those are her library cards. So we do still have some Chicken Club thread packs available. I think we'll probably keep them until the end of the year. There's a cute Chicken Club needle minder, and to stitch, we're using the Farm Floss egg drops and the Gingham Love thread bling. And so these are really cute. We're working on her next thread bling, so hopefully you like these. And thank you to Colleen from Stitching with the Sisterlies, who stitched all of these for us. And so remember, so these 4 are available now, paper, PDF. This one, if you're not in the club, will come online on a Monday. And they all have little blue eyes. They're so cute. So they all have a chicken and a chick. So some are roosters, some are female, some are male. I don't know. I'm not from the farm. I have no idea. But I do love that when we offered this, and what's great about the frame that you get from Amazon is you can just set it up, and it's affordable to frame. So I've been showing you Stackables, and I'll show you my progress on this during our May-nia section, but this shipped to club members last week, and so if you're not in the club, this will be available next Monday for purchase as paper or PDF, because this shipped. So what we do is our club members get the patterns first. And this one, I did want to let you know on this board. So we found a new vendor to make the boards. They will be in stock mid-May. And what we found a new vendor, and what he's going to do is ship us in batches. So we'll get some, and then 2 weeks later we'll get more, and then 2 weeks later we'll get more. So hopefully that will be able to meet the demand. We're sorry, but the first vendor we had went out of business. And we've never really worked with wood products before. So it's kind of a learning progress for learning all about that. This is designed by Brittany, stitched on marbled white pine board, 14 count. And so all you need is the pattern, the fabric, and then your floss, which we use Classic Colorworks. And what Denise did is on the back of the pattern each month, she tells you which grunge fabric matches. So this is May. It's 51 stitches by 167 stitches. They're pretty easy and pretty quick to stitch. The heaviest part of stitching obviously is the barrel, but once you stitch that, going up will be pretty easy. So it finishes on 14 count, about 3 3/4 by 12, and we're excited about the new paddle board. So thank you. I have some super chats. Thank you to Linda Smith. She says, congratulations, you guys rock. Kimberly, you're such a gem. Thank you. So thank you to the super chats. Now we're going to move to May-nia. So May-nia, FQS Stitch May-nia, is where I stitch something every day. Now, so I'm going to go product by product, and then I'm going to try to tell you the fabric, the floss, and the pattern, because some of these I have changed some of the things. So this is Stitching in the Round pattern by JBW Designs. I stitched this on pale gray gingham 14 count, Aida by Fabric Flair. For the light pink, this is Little Pink Peony by Classic Colorworks, and the darker is Cherry Tomato by Classic Colorworks. Now this one, I don't know how I'm going to finish. I'm, always a little bit scared of finishing anything in a circle because of puckers. And my framer does have some circle frames, but they're more like a Renaissance style. So if you guys have some ideas on how to finish it, let me know, because I have no idea what I'm going to do. And the model that she stitched on was a much smaller model. Let's see it. And she says she finished it on a 5-inch round box by Hobby Lobby. But since I stitched on 14 count, it would be too big for that. So that's the first day. And then this is the second day, and I'm still working on it. So this is a year of celebrations. And so I started in July, went through December, and then now I'm going back through. Now I'm almost done. All I have left is the beehives. I just have to do the gray on these 3 and then the back stitches of the gray. But all the bees are done. The whole row is done. Everything's done except the one last color. So I kind of stitch by color. And then with this, if I can find time, I'm just going to finish June up. If I can't find time, then I'll just stitch it in June. And then I am very excited because with this one, this is the first time I have ever stitched something where I do the back stitch as I go. So at the end, I won't have that chore because, I honestly hate back stitching. The designer of this is Hands On Design, and it's a Year of Celebrations Part 2. And this one, we did our own color conversion. So I'm using the thread pack. It's called, I think, Kimberly's thread pack, Year of Celebrations. And in there, Denise did a color conversion that I follow each month. And I haven't really changed much. The only thing I can think of that I changed was, obviously didn't do any back stitching here. And I left some back stitching off these hearts. And this one I am going to frame and leave it up all year. I think it'll be really pretty. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but somewhere. So almost done. Not exactly, but I didn't want to take this one on my trip because it's so big, and I just didn't want to. Also, it's harder for me to stitch on this fabric, which is 28 count, 25 count prim. So this is Lori's 25 count prim. Now I can give you a hint. There's going to be something with 25 prim coming up from Lori. So if you do everything Lori, you need to make sure you have a package, and we'll try to make sure we don't sell it out. It's just getting harder and harder to keep stuff in stock, but we have something coming up with that. So the next 2 days, this is not necessarily in order of the days, but it's order of the days that I scheduled. Okay, so month to month, May and June. So this is the May small and the June small. And with this one, I'm framing it, even though it's a circle design. I found some 4-inch frames at Home Goods, and Denise finishes them for me, and she puts a big piece of soft and stable on the back. And I just used a frame from Amazon so that it's nice and affordable. And again, I avoided the circle. We do have sticky circles now to make it easier. I just have not tried it because I'm still too scared to do it. So the sticky circles that would fit this are the 3.5 inch, and they're 4 stitching with the housewives. I'm just too scared to do it. So those are 2 days. Now May and June, I've also scheduled the large. So next week or this week, I don't know how I have it scheduled, but I'll do part 1 of May and part 1 of June. And on these, I am stitching on 14 count pale gray gingham, and I'm not changing any colors. Life in Full Bloom is a mystery. It's a 4-part mystery. You pay one time, and on Fridays you get the different parts. There are 4 parts. So part 2, which will be right here, will come out this Friday. So I stitched part 1 on pale gray gingham, 14 count Aida by Fabric Flair. I used called for colors. I am using the Classic Colorworks. And do we have the sample in here? I want to show you how different my stitching is from Cheryl's, and it's just the craziest thing because when Denise and I and Cheryl and I look at it, I did not use thread conditioner on this at all, but my stitching is so different than Cheryl's. So I did not use thread conditioner. I used the same exact floss. I do the loop method and she does 1 stitch at a time, and look how much darker this blue is. It's insane. So I don't know exactly why my stitching is so much darker. I think that maybe Cheryl pulls hers a little bit tauter. Now this is also on 25 count, this is 28 count antique white, and this is an Aida. So you've got a Lugana versus an Aida, but that should not affect the thread color. I just think it's so interesting. And even, you know, here, this is a different color. It's the same thread. Mine just comes out so different. So it's just interesting, and I think it's awesome every time I see it, because we'll always be able to tell which piece is mine and which piece is Cheryl's. So we started the Houses on Peppermint Lane series in January. This is part 5. So I'm still working on part 4. Or did I finish part 4? I finished part 4. So I started part 5, and I'm not stitching the bottom part. And this one we do have a thread pack that shows all my conversions, and so the thread pack, when you get the thread pack, tells you where everything goes. So this I did as part 1, which is obviously a big portion of it, but I'm doing this as 4 parts. So before next week, I'll probably do this bottom part, which is like pomegranates maybe and flowers. I'm not really sure. Oh, I guess cranberries, duh. So I'll just go right here. Now this one I'm stitching on Oatmeal 14 count Aida by Lori, with obviously my color changes, and I am using, it's mostly Classic Colorworks with a couple of skeins of Weeks Dye Works. So I've been busy, guys. I don't know, my hands should just fall off. Now this one has a funny story, kind of. So this one I had to restart because I got a stain on the first one, but I restarted. And this is part 1 is the border, or release 1. Release 2 is this. Release 3 is here. And I was on the cruise with Priscilla and I ran out of stitching. So I had to text Denise and say, oh, can you email me the PDF? So I was trying to stitch off my phone. So I stitched all of this off my phone. This is actually part 6. So right here is part 6, and this is 4 and 5. But what I might do is, since I already kind of got in the rhythm of doing it, like I'm going to start this green. That's why this green is still on I was on the plane and got to the gate quicker and didn't put a stitch in. But I'll probably do like this green, and then I'll do these. Sorry, it's raining. There's a lot of noise. I'll probably do these, and then I'll probably do this last tulip, and then I'll move to part 4. That'll just get me ahead. And this one is stitched on pale gray gingham, 14 count Aida. Gosh, you guys, I'm stitching everything on that. And this one is for our charity. If you have not donated to Make-A-Wish, we would love a donation. Ashley can put a link in. We're almost to 54,000, which is way below where we need to be. So we're actually putting a call out to our local community in Buda to try to raise some money from just people in our community so that we can make sure that we get to grant all of the wishes we had planned. And May Stackables I showed you earlier. And this one, like I said, is I just stitched right here. So I'm going to do this as part 2. Maybe I'll probably do all of this as part 2 and then part 3, and then just leave a little bit for the last month. And this one, what we're doing is we're using the board, we're using the same grunge, and this one Priscilla made 2 bows each time. And then I just use the same exact bow, and that way she doesn't have to do it twice. And then Denise finishes it with Priscilla's bow. And Priscilla did use her red check, one of her red ribbons for this. So, awesome. Okay, now I have a tease for next week. It's really awesome, but next week I'm gonna have a show and tell of something really cool, a really cool finishing idea for this stitch card set P, which is 4 designs. Now I'm scheduling these throughout the rest of May. I'm going to be stitching mine on, what am I stitching mine on? I forgot my little books at home.
Is it pale gray gingham?
I think it's pale gray gingham. We'll have to see. I can't remember. I mean, I literally am like stitching at number 87 right now for the year, and so it's really hard for me to remember fine details when I am doing all these things. I'm going to answer a couple of questions before I go on to framed finishes. That way, if you put your question in, I can get it answered. Deborah asked if I've ever used Pearl Cotton number 5 by DMC, and I have not. Are you going to gift yourself for Mother's Day? Gift myself to who? Give myself a gift? Oh, I don't know. I did see a purse yesterday I liked, and I was like, I gotta click off this website. I gotta click off this website. Because I do have a thing about fancy purses. I'm ridiculous. And I was like, I can't look at this. I can't look at this. And then I went back and looked at it, and I was like, I can't look at this. So what I did ask for, I'll tell you what I asked for Christmas. For Mother's Day. I'm a mess. So for Mother's Day, when we moved in our house 5 or 6 years ago, there were some really beautiful rose bushes. But after the 2 freezes we had, because in Texas, rose bushes will usually live. I'm not a gardener. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. But I do know that knockout rose bushes will last because my mom did garden. So I do know that, but they died during the freezes. And so I asked if there's 5 places I want to put one knockout. I want to buy 5 knockout rose bushes and put them in these 5 spots. So that's not very expensive. So I asked if I could go to Home Depot and pick them out, and then Kevin and the boys and Emma would plant them. But I told Emma, and she was like, oh. So I noticed, because, I can see her stuff. She went and bought me a gift, because I know immediately, she was like, oh, I'm not doing the rose bushes. So, because when Kevin gets you in the yard, he will keep those kids in the yard for 6 hours, which is fine. But Emma and I, we're just not cut out for it. So I thought that was funny. So I'm hoping that I get 5 knockout rose bushes. And there is a Home Depot and a Lowe's by me. So I'm assuming they carry that. I have no idea. I don't know much about it. I was going to text Priscilla or Lori or somebody and say, can you give me a hint? Or what do I do? But yeah. Or I could just watch YouTube. Is pistachio 14 count coming in today? It is. So I did want to let you know, okay, we got a big shipment that's coming from Fabric Flair. It's 7 boxes. So we're hoping that my new pale gray gingham is in there. And a lot of the orders from Witchell and Yarn Tree are starting to show up. So that's really exciting that some of our stuff is coming back in stock. What is the bike pattern on the shelf? That is Pine Mountain Design Snapshots May with the colors Denise and I and Cheryl picked out, and the colors are on our blog, I believe. I think they're on our blog, and they're just DMC colors, and our blog is the Jolly Jabber. Judy Guest, I remember your first video. Thank you for teaching me to cross stitch. Oh, well, thank you for watching. I still can't believe people watch me. Well, okay, this question, there's a question from Linda Smith about will Kimberly's mint work with the new Stitching with the Housewives Honey Roundabouts and Honey Festival. We are going to cover that at the end of the live stream, so just wait, because we have it all right there. I can see it on the floor. On the Stackables, how much grun do you need to buy? It doesn't say in the pattern. So on our site, the minimum you can buy is half a yard, and that should be plenty. Laura B. FlossTube, what is the next Lori Holt design we can expect? That was a quilt first. Okay, it's not Cozy Christmas, and it's not Calico Garden, but you are going to love it, and I'm going to show you. It's in process of being stitched. So next week, we're going to show you Cheryl's progress. Obviously, it's not going to come out for several months because we have to get it stitched. It is charted, but stitched, framed, photographed, all that, but we are going to show you a hint next week. So you'll just have to see next week. Did I mention when the Stackables PDF will be released for May? Monday. Okay, so now we're going to go to frame finishes. So huge shout out to Jordan, who went to the framer yesterday and got 14. I'm so glad I sent him because I don't know if I could have carried 14 items. He was walking in, Denise was walking in, Ashley was walking in, and I was like, Kevin was like, what is that? I'm like, oh, that's all the framing. Don't ask how much it cost. Okay, so this is February, month to month, and so these, I'm caught up, so all I'm going to have to do, the very last one is going to be July, and then I'm going to store them where they're all together somehow at my house. I'm going to try to get everything organized. So this is the large February. I'm going to leave that right there. And this is March, month to month. So these are by Priscilla and Chelsea of Stitching with the Housewives. And I didn't make any color changes to either. And then April month to month by Priscilla and Chelsea. This one's probably my favorite because I love aqua so much. So I am going to have to find a place. What I'm thinking is, since hopefully there's a hanger. Yeah, there's a hanger. So we're going to put library cards. We don't have library cards on this yet because we just got it yesterday. But I'm hopefully just going to have a space in my house where I hang it. And then each month, switch it out. Now, speaking of framing, I've shown you this. This is Barn Sweet Barn, January. Now, this is Barn Sweet Barn 2023. It's one pattern, but within the pattern there are 14 pages in addition to the cover page with different monthly designs. So this is January, and you've seen it before. But yesterday, Jordan picked up February and March. And then April is stitched. Did we take it to the framer?
Oh, no, I have it here.
No, we're going to take it to the framer. So, and then May, I need to stitch May as part of May-nia. I don't have it scheduled as a day yet, so it's just going to be whenever I get to it. But I'm going to do all 12, and I'm thinking that in a hallway at Fat Quarter Shop, I'm just going to find a hallway where I can put all 12. And they don't all come out exact. You know, the framer does the best they can getting them exact, but I mean, they're never going to be 100% exact, and I'm okay with that because you guys might notice that. So I hope you guys are stitching along with me. Really fun. Now this is the one I was talking about yesterday. Now if you didn't watch yesterday's video, we talked all about floss. Now this is the type of design that I was referring to that I would use beeswax on because it's big solid patches and it makes my thread lay flatter. Now I showed you part 5 of Peppermint Lane. This was part 1 that was done in January. Peppermint House. This is part 2, Gingerbread House, that was done for February. Sugar Cookie House was March. April we're going to take to the framer. And then May I just showed you. I'm going to show you May real quick. But what I did on these is I had them framed because on the 14 count, they're just, I originally kind of envisioned these as pillows. But it is so ginormous, even without that bottom, you know, even without the bottom. So I'm framing them. I don't know where they will go. I might put them on a wall at Fat Quarter Shop, or there was a shelf that I saw at Home Goods one time that I loved, and of course I didn't buy it, but I've been going and looking, and I'm hoping it comes back so where I can buy it, where they're now the only thing is I have to buy easels because I don't have an easel on this, or somehow have Kevin figure out how to turn it into something that stands up, or I could even take it to my framer and have them put a little thing. But I was thinking this would either be something that goes on the wall or something that I just put out at Christmas. I haven't decided yet. And I love the frame. It's it's gold here. It's kind of gaudy. And it's brown, but it's not, this kind of looks like an inset, and it's not. It's just part of the frame. And it's pretty rustic, which is totally not like me, but I kind of felt like the brown pulled out some of the brown in the house. And I did want it to look a little bit different. You know, one thing that you guys will notice is I tend to do a lot of the things and they all look the same. But this one's different because it's a different designer. It's Pansy Patch Quilts, and it's Lori Holt's oatmeal fabric, which I use sometimes, but not all the time. So this does look very different than something else that I stitch on, like pale gray gingham. So I needed the frame to be different so it would stand out. And then this, we'll send to April to the framer. We kind of send them in batches. Another thing I got back from the framer, oh my gosh, I love this. So this is the 2023 Collector's Heart by Heart and Hand. I stitched this on 28 count Lugana light taupe, and I use Classic Colorworks Cherry Cobbler. This pattern comes with the chart, the fabric, and the thread, and the embellishment. I changed the thread to something, I had used this fabric and this thread on something else, and I wanted them to kind of matchy match. And then I did put the button. So this frame, I use it a lot, and the framers probably gets annoyed, but I use it all the time. It's kind of got like a brown little accent, but it makes it to where, because this is more like rustic than my home decor, so the white really lightens it up and makes it fit into my decor a little bit more. But I love it, and it says 2023. So I was gonna turn it into like a leaf and try to make it not the year, but I'm glad I didn't. The next one I got back is Love Potion, which was a mystery stitch along. It's not a mystery anymore, but you can still purchase it as a PDF at Fat Quarter Shop. It's designed by Brittany, and if you look at it, it's so interesting because you can see how much darker my stitching is than Cheryl's. And this one was finished by Priscilla of Stitching with the Housewives, and I just had mine framed because I can only send so many things to Priscilla. And then, oh my gosh, I love this one. I haven't even seen it yet. So Be Mine, and I'm going to show you this compared to the other one, but this is series 1. What you're going to notice is they are not all the same size at all because they all have different words, and we care more about the aesthetics of things looking nice rather than them being the exact same size. So what I was trying to do with this is I wanted a frame that was very thick on the side because I can stand this. Okay, so if you look at me, I will stand this up with an easel on. I have some fake fireplaces, you know, like ones that don't really work. And I also have like a stairway that has a little place you can stop and then turn. And I'm hoping eventually one day I can put my nice stuff there. Right now, somehow my in-laws were there and all of a sudden like several quilts were just sitting there because my kids were throwing quilts on top of each other when they were going down the stairs. And I was like, hey, that's all great and good, do that, but can you just not do that when my in-laws are here? Because like y'all need to just pretend that y'all are really angels while in-laws are there. But I'm either going to put this on an easel at that stairway, like in the corner, or I'm going to put it on a easel on a fake fireplace. But it's really big, and if you compare this, now, oh, I wanted to show you. So I wanted this to be very wide, and I think the depth of this, I mean, this is a pretty big indention, but I was looking for something, and I also wanted it to stand out and work with all 6. Now, obviously, I know all 6 of the designs, so I know this color will work. And if you can, who stitched this one? Cheryl stitched this one, and if you look at it, so mine just came out much bigger, but my stitching is so much darker. So, and Priscilla finished this one. So I love how this came out. Okay, those are my framed finishes. Oh, there's a question. Oh, yes. Okay, so all of these framed finishes are under glass. You can see the lights above me there. Anytime I get something framed, 99% of the time it has glass. So yes, they have glass. And the reason you don't see the reflection here is it's museum glass. And I think that's why. Okay, so let's go ride a bike. This is a little metal basket, and the Priscilla and Chelsea stripes were used. It's an aqua, and then she used her ribbon, or their ribbon. And then this is a Lori Holt rickrack. These are red and black Chelsea's checks. And then this was from like the little section at the front of Michael's. So really cute. So I did want to let you know on Let's Go Ride a Bike. Is it part of the news section? Mm-hmm. So Let's Go Ride a Bike. There are 12. I did about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 of them. I can't remember how many I did. I didn't do all of them. But the newest is Let's Go Ride a Bike 4th of July. That's the very last one in the series. We do have a set of 12 available, and you can buy all of them at once now that the series is over. And if we sell out of those sets, because we were only able to make a couple, we will have more sets next week when our order comes from Stitching with Housewives. So this is Sweetheart Street, and I did put Piggy right here. This is Presley right there, and this is Piggy. And Presley likes to sit on tables because he's naughty, and my dog likes to pee on things because he's naughty. So there you go. Now also, we got these finished. These are from the Be Mine Stitch Along that we did in February. And these are frames that we purchased off Amazon, and we have a link somewhere to them. So this is Bless Your Heart by Stitching with the Housewives. Be Mine. Be My Valentine. These are all roundabouts. And then, as part of the 4th, it was called Our Love Story, and I just couldn't stitch it. So I stitched the bonus, which is February 14th. What's great about these frames is they were a little bit more expensive than I normally would spend at Amazon, but they're kind of ceramic-y, but they sit up. So they're going to be easy for me to decorate with. And thank you to Denise who finished these for me. Gosh, I stitch a lot. This is why I can't remember anything. Okay, so Valentine Letters by Stitching with the Housewives. So if you go back and look at a live stream that we did in January, Kevin and I went to Hobby Lobby and they had these cute little boards. What are they called? Valentine 2023 wood decor. They were expensive. They were $5 each, but they had these gnomes on the front. and Jordan took a screwdriver, right? It was gnomes, right? He took a screwdriver and popped them off. We mailed it to Priscilla and she finished them. And she used the Chelsea's Checks red and white. And these were part of the City Valentine Dapper Doodads that released in January. And they had letters in there. And so I did the letters. And I stitched this on the 14 count Kimberly's Light Pink by Fabric Flare. That is what was used in the Be Mine that I just showed you. The, what's that? Simply Signed series. So it's the same pink. So you kind of wouldn't think it, but it's that same pink fabric. And so what I did is Kevin and I figured out, we just did every other one red and white. And then I stitched every other one different. And the threads that I used are licorice red and light pink. No, licorice red and sea shelly by Classic Colorworks. And so I reversed them, dark, light, light, dark, etc. And then thank you to Priscilla who finished it. And the way I'm going to finish it is like this at my house. You're going to sit on and I'll probably, because this is really long, I mean, I don't have a bookcase this long, I'll probably do something where like this, so that it will fit on the shelf. And another thing is, I think they made theirs into banners, which was really cute too, so that's another option. And the only thing I would say that's bad about this is each of these were $4.99, so that's quite a bit. So it's like $45 just for the wood. I thought that was a lot, but I couldn't find, I was trying to find something in the Hobby Lobby or Michael's unfinished wood section, and I couldn't find anything. So this is what I ended up with. So this is exciting. And I'll probably store them like this. Really cute. I'll probably put them in a box. So those are back. Oh, and then I have a lot of stuff Denise stitched. So this is exciting. Okay, so Denise is working on quite a lot of things. So this is Hive Rules by Primrose Cottage, and she is stitching on 32 count Antique White Lugana by Zweigart. She is using the called for colors, and the pattern is by Primrose Cottage Stitchery. And so to kind of go along with this look, I'm going to leave that there. She has two more. So she is making a Honey of a Tiny Town. This one is done. A Honey of a Tiny Town. And this is a Honey of a Frill. They're both by Heart and Hand. And what she did is she used the same palette colorway as Hive Rules by Primrose Cottage. So she's just taking, she bought all the thread for this, and then she's keeping this the same. And as she stitches this, she's just converting as she goes. Now, this is a 14 count hand dyed from her stash. So it's probably something she purchased at Needlework Market, and it was just in her stash. And she's stitching, I think this is crazy, she's stitching them on both pieces. Where's the Honey of a Frill? Oh. Hold on. Oh, okay, so where's this? You just added it to the end? Okay, so what she did right here, this. Where's the little girl? Oh, you put it in between. So she put the little girl here, right here. How did you do that? I would have never even thought of that. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So she did this row and then put the little people right here. And then the little buttons came. Some of these came in the pattern pack, and then some of these she purchased. They're just another button company buttons. So that's a really great way how you can combine Heart and Hand, Primrose Cottage together, and just use one colorway, buy the thread once, and just convert as you go. And I'm going to show them to you together. And then when she finishes them, we'll show you. So this one's, they're both done. This one's just not done. This is the only one that's not done. So you guys give Denise a big shout out because that's really creative and I would have never even, are you giving it to your mom? No, she's giving it, okay, she's making it for herself. So cute. Okay. Oh, and there's a little button here. These are little buttons. And then this one, okay. We have gotten so many questions, guys. Okay. This is the fabric up close that Chelsea stitched the roundabouts on. This is part of the Bees series that Priscilla and Chelsea are doing. Chelsea stitched all of these, and this is the fabric that they dyed. You will follow their video on the Stitching with the Housewives YouTube channel. This is a 32 count Lugana. No. This is a 28 count white Lugana. They RIT dyed and they tea dyed. Now, this is Denise's piece. She, instead of using 28 count, is using 32 count Lugana. She just has a white. She RIT dyed this apple green, which is the same apple green here, followed their video tutorial. She just did not tea dye it. So she doesn't have the brown in it like this because she only did the dyeing, not the tea dye on top. So this is a PDF pattern. Again, RIT dye apple green. Now, this is the Hello Honey pattern. Okay, so apple green, RIT dye, tea dye on top. RIT dye, apple green, no tea dye. Now this is Kimberly's mint, and this would look fabulous with all of their honey pieces. So that is one of the questions in there that we've answered, but my answer would be Kimberly's mint. Now, we did order from Fabric Flair apple green or Granny Smith green or something like that, and hopefully it comes soon. We did order it both in 14 count and 28 count. Now with Fabric Flair, we sell so much Fabric Flair that our orders kind of take a while to fill. But we did ask them to put the blue check and this one ahead of our other orders. Not this one, the Granny Apple Smith above our other orders, so hopefully they will come soon. But I thought this would be a great way to show you. Now when that Granny Apple comes in, I will show you this, and the Fabric Flair with it. With this, again, it's just not here yet. So thank you to Priscilla and Chelsea for mailing us the sample. Thank you to Denise for stitching this. And thank you to Brittany and Cheryl and Denise for somehow having this fabric that matches. Okay, so I'm going to answer questions in a second. I'm going to show you some what's new, and I'm also going to show you some flash sale. But I want to show you something. Kevin has a special that he wanted me to show you. So he's offering this until May 15th, which is next Monday. So for a limited time offer, you can refer a friend to Fat Quarter Shop, and then if they place an order, you get a coupon for 20% off your next order. So you earn a coupon for 20% off your next order by introducing your friends to Fat Quarter Shop and giving them a promo code. They get a promo code for $10 off their order of $50 or more. If they complete that order, you get the 20% off. Now, the one thing is the customers have to be new customers who have never made a previous order. It doesn't work with existing customers. And again, it goes until Monday, May 15th. And then if you want to know how to access it, if you look at the next photo on the left, you see that pink limited time. You can do that there. From there, you click that and you fill this box out. Super easy. You can also find, if you go to the very bottom of our website, bottom left, it says give 10, get 20% off. You can fill that out there. Or if you're logged into our website, you can access the program under your dashboard where it says refer a friend. So That is an offer, and we do keep that refer a friend, but this is a very much more generous offer than normal. So it only lasts until Monday, May 15th, 2023. Okay, so now I'm going to show you flash sale new items, but I want you to throw all your questions in so that I can make sure that I have time to answer them. One thing, just so you guys know, when I'm talking on YouTube, I'm about a minute behind. So sometimes I end the live stream and people get upset I don't answer their question. Well, I didn't come through in time because I'm ahead of you guys by at least a minute. So start throwing your questions in now so that I do get to answer them. So for flash sale today is the Kaleidoscope Floss Keeper. I love these Floss Keeper. This one is great because, let's see how many holes it has. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 8 holes. So it's really fun, and you can just toss it in your bag with your floss on there, and you can either use a permanent pin to write your number on the front, the back, or stickers. Either one. For what's new, this is what I just showed you stitched. This is today's Honey Busy Bee Honey, and this was last Friday's. Dapper Doodads #1, and so Honeybee is going to be their theme for the month, and I only know that because I watched their video. So they're going to be 4 or 5 roundabouts and 4 boulevards. And month to month, the very last one has come in. So I'm going to kit this up for me. I have to do my kit, but this is the last one. So like I said, we put together a set of the month to month. We only put together a limited amount because we were low on some of the patterns. So we put in an order to Chelsea. Once that order comes in, we'll be able to make more, but now you have your complete set. And I have May, June, and July to stitch. So I was really excited because I kept up with it the whole time. And again, I showed you Let's Go Ride a Bike, 4th of July. This is now a series of 12 also. This one's brand new, God Bless America, and I love it. And on the cruise, she was stitching something else very Americana, and I love it. And I think she showed a sneak peek Saturday, but I can't remember. The summer stitching season shipped out to our club members. So some of you have already received this. This is an exclusive pattern by Stitching with Housewives or Fat Quarter Shop. Next week, we will reveal what's inside because we want to give all of you enough time to get it. The club is sold out. We might have a couple leftover kits if some people don't pay, so we'll see. Now, one thing that we've gotten a request for are Lady Dot Creates trims. And so we got in some new trims. These, I think, are all chenille. I was trying to think of the word in different colors. So these are chenille. I'll open one. We have some of the pom-pom trim, but now we added chenille. Can you zoom out a little bit? Oh my gosh, the chenille just keeps coming. Okay. So that you can show it better, I'm going to show you the colors on the back. Jack, and what's great about this is you can kind of save this timestamp because if you want the pom-poms in the same color, she uses the same dye to do the pom-poms. So we have Jack, Barn Door, Brick House, Licorice, Vanilla, Rusted Nail, Snow, Ballerina, Mother Love, Sizzle, Polar Ice, Sequoia, Caribbean, and Union. And I will give you kind of a hint is some of these colors were selected for our upcoming event that we're going to talk about next week. It's called Red, White, and Blue Stitch Along. Red, White, and June Stitch Along. And we're going to show you all of that next week. So if you're not overwhelmed yet by everything I'm doing, you just wait because it's going to be more overwhelming next week when I show you everything I've done this week. plus what I have to do next week. Oh my gosh, I am so excited about these. I could die. I cannot wait. I have been waiting for these to arrive since market. So we talked to Thread Milk, and she puts together these really cool floss drops. They are kind of like a really thick cardboard, so I mean they will bend slightly, and there are a bunch of them. I'm not going to tell you the name of each just because they're not stickered. So we haven't, these came in yesterday and we haven't had time to sticker them yet in the warehouse. But when you get it, it will have a sticker. I'm just gonna go through these because for me, it's really fun. So this is, I think, called Patriotic number 1. So there are 12 rings on this one, I think. Let me count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 10. So there's 10. And they're all on the top of the What's New page. Now, with this, she told me, you know, we could get them. It's just limited quantities because these are all handmade, and I believe her husband makes them. So you would search Thread Milk Drops or Thread Milk Design on our website. So this is one of them. It has 10. I'm going to put it right here. This is the second Patriotic. And I just know because it has the number 2. And I'm going to flip through them. Do you want to zoom in? I'm just going to flip through them because I want to see them, and so this is fun for me. I'm so excited to get these. And Lori has had some of these. I've seen them at her house, and so that's where I first saw them, at Lori Holt's house. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get these. They're so cute. They're so vintage. They're so cute. So I'll start using these with projects. I'm not sure what this one's called. Oh, and this one has a little, so these two have a circle. And this one has a needle. So these are spool tops, like old vintage spool tops. I mean, they're not real. They're Thread Milk Spool Label Floss Drops. And I could have waited until next week to show you, but I didn't want to wait because they came in yesterday. But it does take us time to load the products and then sticker them. So they're not stickered yet, but they will be. So these are spool top, and this one has a needle. Okay, this one right here, it has a Christmas tree and a circle. It's called Thread Milk Christmas Set Floss Drops. And these all have 10. There's going to be one at the end that doesn't have the metal container. And they're just going to be the floss drops. But I cannot wait to start using these. And I don't know how long they'll last, and I don't know how long a reorder will take because we ordered these in March and it's May. So they're handmade. And then this just unscrews so that you can add more if you want to. And then, okay, these are silver. Let me show you the last silver one, and then there's 2 that are more of a nickel look. This one has a heart. Oh, these have flags also. I'm so excited about this. Can y'all tell? I didn't have time to look at them in detail yesterday because I was in a meeting all day. So this has a heart. These are the Thread Milk Floss Drops. So these are like milk tops designs. That's so cute. Pure milk. Okay, so these you'll see, we're going to zoom out a little bit. These 5, patriotic, holiday, or patriotic, Christmas, milk, and then sewing, spool tops. These have silver, so silver. And they all have a circle, and then they have one little charm. Okay, now I'm going to show you some that have, it's more of a nickel look. So it's more of a brown, and it's thicker. This one has a black cat, and the little ring is more of a nickel. This is the Halloween set. So all of them have some of the milk tops in them. Happy Halloween. I bet Cheryl buys this. This is Halloween set 1. This is Halloween set 2. And the only reason I know is it says 1 and 2. And this one also has a black cat. But yes, I'm very selfishly excited about this product. Sometimes I buy stuff. This is so bad. Oh, and it has a little witch too. Sometimes I buy stuff just because I want it. And I'm like, I'm not really sure it'll really sell, but I really just selfishly want it. That's probably the best thing about my job is, like the other day, there was a product and I was like, that's really cute. Let me buy that for the store and see if the quality's good before I buy it for the store. And then I paid full retail, but I don't want to buy a bunch and then see, until I know it's gonna be a good quality. So I selfishly get to buy things for myself, see if they're good. Now, so there's 7, right? If I could count. Yeah, 7. Okay. And then she sells this pack of 50. And this one doesn't have the rings or the notions. They're just milk caps. And there's 50. And so if you run out, you just add these. Now what you could do is say these are all 10s. Say you have a pattern that needs 15. You can just add 5 of these. Or you could just buy 2 and combine them. Really cute. And how you use it is you take some thread and you add it to the bottom. So I'll show you. This was just laying around. It's Cupid by Classic Colorworks. You literally just put it in the hole. And then what you can do, this is cardboard. So you could get like a label maker from, what's that label maker brand I have? Brother. I have a little Brother label maker, and I could just put Classic Colorworks Cupid or CCT-Cupid and just stick that on there. Or you could put this on there, like cut this. I can cut it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna mess up these scissors though. Can you give me some paper scissors? Sorry, I don't want to use my claw scissors, but I'll show you what I would have done. Now, don't cringe when you see that I'm using Tula Pink scissors, because we do use these for paper. Don't ask why. If there's anybody in this room, we can blame it's Jordan. He likes to use them because he thinks they're pretty, and we use them for paper. Sometimes we're just a little special. So this is what I would do. And I would just put, if I wanted to make sure I knew it was Classic Colorworks, I could just write a little Classic Colorworks or CCW, CCT, whatever. Or you can use the little label and put it on there. Or like Lori, she probably would just write it. Now these are cardboard, a very thick cardboard. They're not acrylic, and if you bend them, I mean, that's a lot of pressure. So it's gonna take a while to bend. They're not gonna last forever because it is a paper product. You obviously don't wanna get them wet, but this is a really good thick hardboard. Okay, we have a lot more new stuff now that I detoured. New Blackbird design, Lydia Cohagen. Lydia Cohagen. Yes, I know what I'm doing. The Prairie Schooler. This is book number 11, American Strawberries. And this one, what I'm kind of, they all are, the designs are, the shape of the design is a half circle. So that is how you turn them into this. If you wanted to keep it and do the design not as a strawberry, you could take it, copy it, and put 2½ circles together to create a circle design. Or you could put this on one half and this on the other. So to me, looking at this, it's limiting because not everybody is going to want to do a strawberry, but you can make it into a circle design by combining, and this would be a great pattern for the red, white, and June event we're about to have. Now this one I love. Merry Christmas. This just came in yesterday, and I love this, and I'm considering stitching it and changing the colors. This is kind of a black, and I would make this more, I was kind of thinking the way I would do is I would probably take the Christmas thread pack that Priscilla did for us years ago and use like the red there, the green here, and just make it a lot brighter. Plaid of the year, happy birthday. And we do sell these little backers by 141 Design. What are they called? Trying to think of what they're called. Oh, on the edge display board shelf. You have to paint them. This is Day at the Beach. And so these are part of a series. This is a standalone. And these two are part of the Polar Plunge. And these have been selling really well. When we get to the end of the series, we will offer a pack. I don't think we're at the end. Now these, just so you know, they're full color. One side is this, the other side is the pattern. So it's just one page. Raindrop Kisses by Primrose Cottage, super cute. Cross Stitch by Madame Chantilly, Celebrate Cross Stitch. This one's really cute. I think this would be really cute stitched. And then from Pine Mountain Designs, she offered a club on her website for, it was like a stamp of the month. And now we have the patterns. So we have February, March, April, and May, and I think I've shown you January before. And each of them come with 2 patterns. And I bet this finishing right here, oh, started with February. So this will started with February. So we have February through May. Each of these has 2 charts. Yeah, 2 charts. This is a paper product, so it's not that. So 2 charts, and available in paper. Is it color? In paper and PDF, and I'm trying to look to see if the pattern is in color. I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. If it's not, I'll tell you. It is in color. Yeah, it's in color. Sorry. And then we got some new Shannon Christine designs. Morning Glory Manor, Sleigh Rides, My Sunshine, Fruit Salad, Hello Spring. And these are in black and white. These are all Erin Elizabeth designs. Strawberry Cafe, Spring Tier, Fresh Honey, Nautical Tier, Farm Fresh Strawberries You Pick, or Farm Fresh Strawberries, Be Kind, Lemon Kitchen, Fresh Lemons, Garden Shed, Beach House, and Strawberry Patch. And these are also in black and white. We got some new Fox and Rabbit fabric. So these are new colors. So we have Fox and Rabbit. They are a company out of Australia, and they have a great FlossTube channel. It's a husband and wife team. So if you want to watch them, they talk a lot about their business on that YouTube channel. So this is the color Salt Bush in 14 count Aida, Salt Bush in 28 count linen, 32 count linen, 36 count linen, and 40 count linen. So you can see that the colors look different. This is a great color. It is a great brown. I mean, it is, this would look good with a lot of designers' things. It would look good with Hands-On Design, Primrose Cottage. It's really a great color. So that's how you can kind of see the colors. And they're big cuts. They're 1 yard cuts. And it's hand dyed. The next color, so we got two colors. This is flannel flower. So ignore it's not flannel. Sometimes when we would put the word flannel, that people get confused, but it's flannel flower is the color name. 14 count Aida is the size. So that's 14 count Aida, 28 count linen, 32 count linen. The 28 count kind of messes up on the screen, so I'm kind of tilting it. 36 count and 40 count. Okay, so the next section we're going to talk about Aida Alternatives. So that's all of our new items. Now we're going to talk about Aida Alternatives. These were questions we received 2 weeks ago, so we're coming back with answers. So 2 weeks ago we had some questions on what is a great Aida alternative for the USA Forever stamps. This was stitched by Noelle on 25 count shadow. So we had some questions on what is a good Aida alternative. So ding dong, we have 14 count shadow. On the live stream, I just didn't think of that right off the bat. So here's your alternative, 14 count shadow. It's both Lori Holt fabrics, same color. Another color that Denise and Cheryl thinks might look good is Breeze by Lori Holt. And the Kimberly's blue gingham. Now, this is what I'm stitching mine on. Now, I can give you a little hint. That we're hoping this comes next week. We're hoping it's those 7 boxes that they shipped. But I did stitch something for Red, White, and June early. And it looks really good because I just wanted to make sure it looked good. So this is going to look more amazing than you think once that thread is on there. So option 1, shadow. Option 2, breeze. Option 3, Kimberly's blue gingham. And option 4, Kimberly's light blue. So these are all great options. If you want to go with the blue, here's some options. If you want to go with the gray, that's similar, shadow. So that was our first question that we needed to follow up on. Our second question, welcome to the North Pole. What it calls for is 28 count light taupe Lugana. Now, we got a bunch in. It sold out again. I am so sorry. We ordered more and we're waiting for some more. But we got some questions on what is a great Aida alternative for this light taupe 28 count for Welcome to the North Pole. The first one is Lamb's Wool 14 count by Witchell. This is Beautiful Beige, also by Witchell, 14 count. Obviously you can get it in any count you want. And then I think this would look amazing. Salt Brush 14 count Aida. And all of these are big enough, but look at that. That's a great match. So here is our alternatives for that. Now also as a follow-up, the Welcome to the North Pole will be stitched and be hosting a stitch along. Primrose Cottage Stitches will be hosting it. I will be stitching along. I am going to stitch it on the called for fabric. We did receive the button packs from Just Another Button Company that Lindsay and Kate had put together for it, and we have them now at Fat Quarter Shop. So this will start in June, and I have the threads to put on top of this just so you can see, because we do have thread packs. Now I will tell you the thread packs, I don't know how long they're gonna last. We ordered a lot, but there is a thread shortage right now, and so a lot of our thread packs, it kind of feels like COVID again, where everything is selling out. So I'm kind of going to lay the threads just so you can see. Some of them are duplicates that I'm taking out. Like you get 2 skeins of that, so I'm just showing it once. And if you want to know how Denise, Cheryl, and I pick thread, this is exactly how we do it. We lay it right on the fabric. So this would work great because you can tell that everything shows up. Now this is lighter, so you put that on there and see what you think. Obviously the white's not going to show up as well as it would on the salt bush. And then this is beautiful beige, right? Okay. And I think that would look great. So if it was me, I would go with beautiful beige or salt bush. This one's great. I just think the white would be a little bit harder to see. And that is how you do a floss toss. That's how we pick the thread and the fabric. And sometimes when we're doing this, we'll think, oh, we have the perfect fabric. And then Denise and I and Cheryl will like start putting floss and we're like, oh no. And then we either change the floss or the fabric. Now, yesterday we did do a stitchy talk on thread, so you'll want to check that out if you didn't get to see that video. Oh, okay. Okay, now I'm going to answer questions real quick. Okay, does 14 count salt brush have undertones? Okay, I'm going to show it to you. Now, it's hand dyed, so your piece is not going to be exactly like this. I think it's very lightly. It's not a lot of variegation. So, you know, you can see a little bit. You can see a little bit of undertones. Not too bad. I love it. Is Aida Fox and Rabbit soft or stiff? It's I think it's stiffer than Picture This Plus, and it's a little bit stiffer than Fiber on a Whim, but I would say it's kind of in the middle. What is the name of the pattern with the cup and the bird on the shelf? It is from Tea and Biscuits, I think. Tea Time, and it was one of our patterns from our Stitch Quarterly. Okay, what are your tricks for keeping the thread on the needle when you're stitching? I'm a self-taught basic stitcher and have learned quite a bit from FlossTube, but this is my biggest pet peeve. Okay, this is a great question. Next month's Stitchy Talk will be about needles. We will add that question to that, and I can maybe come up with some tricks on that next week. But basically, I don't go all the way till the very end of my floss. When it starts fraying, I cut it off. Now, one thing I noticed when Priscilla and I were together on the crime cruise, because we did do a lot of stitching, is she was like, you waste a lot of thread. I was like, yeah, I do. So she started picking out some of my thread I was wasting. Pamela Emery, I think we've had this question several times. With houses on Pumpkin Lane, oh, this is Pumpkin Lane. Please tell me if I'm doing it as one large piece. I'm not. I'm doing it as small pieces. I'm also going to be doing it on a fabric that's not 14 count, and I'm going to be turning those into small pieces, not framed, but I don't want to give away too much information. As soon as I start giving away information, then everybody is like asking me, and I want to make sure I wait until I have everything ready to show you. Will Lori have any new cross-stitch patterns this year besides the Chicken Club and Stitch Cards? Absolutely. One of them will be teased next week. Will there be a pink Chelsea's Checks? Yes, it's in the works, and it is on our Coming Soon page, and the last I heard from Henry Glass was shipping October. Any suggestions to help me with counting? I keep finding myself 1 or 2 off. Sometimes it doesn't matter and I can adjust, but other times I have to unstitch. I think it just comes with practice and maybe a really good light. Gwen would like to know how my CrimeCon cruise is. I'll talk about it at the end. What are you stitching Peppermint Lane on? I'm stitching on the called for 28 count. No, 32. Go scroll back up and we'll see what it says. Wait, is that what Peppermint Lane? Oh, Peppermint Lane. Sorry, I'm stitching a lot of things. Peppermint Lane, 14 count oatmeal by Lori Holt. Sorry. Did I ever do do what? Do you ever stitch stars in Christmas colors?
Stitchy Stars and Christmas Colors.
Hold on. Did I what?
Did you ever do Stitchy Stars by Lori Holt?
Oh, it's coming up. We're going to do a stitch along soon in that. Yes, sorry. Yes, we are working on something we're going to release. I think it's in the summer, and we're going to have a lot of colorways for that. And yes, I will be. I have not. Will I offer a finishing kit for the Sweet Laurel Stitch Quarterly? I love the pillow. No, we're not doing a kit on that one. Will I ever sell smaller sizes of fox and rabbit? Not yet. We buy those in 1 yard cuts, and we don't have the space right now or the amount of employees we need to do that. I'm hoping in the future when we grow and expand and we can do that, but right now we don't have the space for it. Would 14 count fit the frame her dad made? Yes, because it's the same, because so she's referring to, let me show you so that you guys know what she's asking. So on this, the Primrose Cottage, their father, it's 5 sisters, their father made this frame. They're selling some of them on Instagram, and this is stitched on 28 count, so 14 count would fit. Is there a DMC conversion for Welcome to the North Pole? Let me look. Yes. So on the back, I'm thinking these red SKUs are DMC colors. Is the floss shortage affecting DMC? Yes, it's coming from DMC. That's where it's actually starting. Okay, so I'm going to talk I'll talk 5 minutes about my CrimeCon cruise. So CrimeCon is a cruise where you go and people are speakers and they talk about crime, they talk about advocacy, they talk about helping victims, things you can do for the future so that maybe we can prevent these things. It's not something to celebrate serial killers or glamorize. It's more of a preventive, informational learning. It's like it's honestly like a college class. I'm not kidding. So we got to meet Paul Holes. I probably should have put some pictures in here. So we got to meet Paul Holes, who helped, he basically saved a lot of the DNA over the years for Golden State Killer. He figured out a back-end way to do genetic genealogy. It's very complicated. When he was talking about DNA, I was like, that's way over my head. So there's all these different types of DNA. He tried to explain it. It was over my head. He was there. Cece Moore was there. You've probably seen her on lots of TV shows. She talks about DNA. She uses DNA clips, which is different than the technology that Paul Holes uses, which is DNA something else. And she talks about her process. She basically invented the process and how she helps other people. She teaches other people. She holds classes so that other people can do this and learn from her to solve cases. She solved hundreds and hundreds of cases. And she works for Parabon now, which is a DNA company that I'm not sure if it's a nonprofit, but they basically help with cold cases. Cheryl McCollum was there. She is my absolute favorite. She's the reason I go to CrimeCon. She is hilarious. Just going to her shows, she's hilarious. But she solves cold cases for families and basically goes back to law enforcement. Maybe a case is 20 or 30 years old, and she says, will you work with me? Are you willing to work with me? If they are, she will get involved. She will pull in her friends, like some of these other people from the cruise, see if they will donate their time, see if they can take old DNA, see if they can interview old suspects, and she tries to solve old cases. Elena Burrows was there. She had a show on oxygen. We did not attend all of her sessions. The reason why is a lot of her sessions were a little bit gory and more like crime scene pictures and more like the actual investigation, which was a little bit much for me. So it was like, she's funny, she's great, but I don't want to see the pictures. But we saw Henry Lee, who was one of the defense experts in the OJ trial. He also has done lots of other things, but he talked about his career, how he came from China, how he came to the United States at the age of 18 or something like that. He knew no English. He talked about how you have to work hard, how you have to be loyal to the people that work around you, how he grew from somebody who came into America as an immigrant, built his career, teaches at universities, was like a crime commissioner, just all the things he did, and like his work ethic and how he came into America wanting to help. So that was very interesting. It was great. I loved it. I would definitely do it again. It was nice to be away, and it was nice that I was on a cruise because the phone didn't work. And so I have one kid, and he calls me all the time. All the time. My funny story of the week, because I always have to give you a funny story. My stories are getting worse and worse. But yesterday, this week is Teacher Appreciation Week at Christopher School. It's a different week for my other kids. But anyway, this week, Monday, you're supposed to take a flower. Today, you're supposed to take some pins. Okay, we got all that done. Great. Tuesday, yesterday, he's supposed to wear his favorite teacher's color, which is either pink or green. So I talked to him the night before. He has plenty of green shirts because he likes the Golden State Warriors, and I think there's green in that, and I think he likes Notre Dame. Anyway, Kevin went over with him. These are the green shirts you have, because they always have an excuse of why they can't find the shirt. My boys, it's a game they play. We don't have it. They'll stuff their clothes somewhere. So the nanny had to hide all of their khaki pants from them so that they can't hide them. So when it's time to go somewhere nice, that they have pants to wear. That's what level we've gone to at our house, because they think it's funny to not wear the color. So yesterday, I had talked to Christopher on Monday night. Kevin had talked to Christopher on Monday night. I go in the living room. We're about to leave. He has on a red hoodie. I'm like, pink and green. He goes, I have on green underwear. He was dead serious. And I mean, it's not, I gotta go to school. Like, I gotta go to work. I'm not gonna argue with the kid. That's why we had them talk the night before. I'm not gonna argue with him. I know when to pick my battles. So I come to work. Kevin works in the office next to me, and I walk into his office and I go, Christopher didn't follow the instructions. And he goes, what did he do? And I said, he put on green underwear. He goes, oh, he told me he was going to do that, but I thought he was joking. And I was like, oh my God, no, he was not joking. So last night I said, Christopher, please tell me you did not tell your teacher you had on green underwear. And he said, no, she wasn't there today. She had a sub. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. We're not going to get an email. Anyway, that's my funny story of the week. So for giveaways, we have these new colors, and we developed these colors to go with the Simply Sign series. This one goes with the first one. This one goes with the second one, and the third one. Now, I forgot to mention this one, welcome. I did stitch that. I stitched the part of the border, the W and the E. I have lost it. Somehow between Saturday when I stitched it and today, I've lost it. So it's either somewhere in this building, somewhere at home. I have the philosophy, I'll find it eventually. So when I find it, that is one of the things I worked on this week for FQS Stitch May-nia. I just can't find it, but I will find it. It'll probably be somewhere in some car, somewhere. I'll find it somewhere. But our giveaway, 3 people are going to win these 3 packs. These are the first 3 new colors. There will be 3 more in the future, but 3 winners win these 3. Ashley and Sophie will pick the winners on Monday, May 15th, and put that in the community tab. And to enter to win, I want you to comment. And yesterday I did a Stitchy Talk, and the Stitchy Talk was all about thread, and I talked specifically about 8 brands. I would love to know what your favorite brand of floss is. Put that in the comments section, because I'm interested to see, is your favorite brand what sells best for us? Like, based on the number of votes we get, I want to see if it correlates to what sells well for us, just out of curiosity. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.